Flying in real life changed what I do in my sim, and this is why. Sit back while we head on up to my shop to grab some parts. And I just want to discuss what made me change how I fly in my sim with flying in real life. When I first started my sim, I was not when I first started my sim, I was not thinking in any way that I'd really be able to fly in real life, because I just, I've said this before on my channel, but I grew up with being told, not necessarily by my parents, but by other people, that I wasn't smart enough to truly know how to fly or to be a pilot, or I would never have the money to do that job. And honestly, the money part is accurate. I ended up having some health issues in my 20s, and I had an amazing job. And that was 20 some years ago. I was making really good money at the time, and ended up to the point where essentially I had to retire from what I was doing, or retire completely. I haven't been able to actually have a full job since 2008. When I started my sim, just one day I was like, I really want to be able to fly, and I might not be able to do it in real life, but why not do it in the sim? So, as you saw in one of my other videos, I grabbed my laptop and pretty sure I got X-Plane 11, and I was flying with just the laptop, keyboard, and mouse. And let me tell you, you want a challenge? That's a challenge. Because you have to move the screen down, push in the throttle, take off the brake, and move the mouse pad to turn the plane. Oh, it was so much work. And then I, upgraded and got me a wireless mouse, and that made it better, not a lot better, but a little better. And one thing led to another. I was like, I would really like to have a yoke. And we had a little bit of money, and I was looking on Marketplace for all these yokes, and I found the honeycomb yoke. And it was a too good to be true deal that actually turned out really good. I took a chance on it, and from past videos, it did have some issues. They got resolved, and it's been an amazing yoke. And one thing leads to another, right? So I had that yoke, and I was like, man, I really need some rudder pedals. And then I was like, I saw a video, I wish I remembered the guy's name, but he did a video on building a sim out of wood. And I'm sorry, the name keeps almost popping into my head and I can't get it. I will try to remember to throw a link down to his website. It wasn't even a video that he had, it was a website about it, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, oh, well, I can throw some 2x4s together, let's do this. And that's how the first sim came about. And then, I don't know, probably halfway through building it, I was like, man, it'd be really cool to have dual yokes in this sim. That way if somebody wanted to fly with me, which they have not done, and that design later got dropped. However, I was searching eBay, found a deal that the guy said make offer on. It had the Logitech rudder pedals and a SciTech yoke and a throttle quadrant, and I don't even remember what I paid, but I wrote him and said that, you know, I want to do this in my sim, and I'm hoping that I can get my kid to fly with me. And my son flew once or twice when he was younger and never really got into it after that. So, but that's how I got my rudder pedals, and I still have that SciTech yoke. If you watch, I'm pretty sure the very first video, or one of the first videos, and it also has the most views on YouTube of any of my videos, is modifying the SciTech yoke with rubber bands and to give it more of a real feel. So yeah, that's how that all came about. Anyway, the reason that real flying changed how I fly in my sim. When I first started flying in my sim, it was all about just, you know, having fun. Wasn't following checklists. I always would have it fired up on the end of the runway and take off. And then I started seeing people that talked about VATSIM and Live ATC. No, not Live ATC. That's a real thing. Pilot's Edge, I think. There's a couple that, you know, teach you the ATC stuff, and I was like, oh, well, that'd be kind of fun to learn. And I, you know, went through the little training course and did all that stuff. And then I was like, well, why don't I start treating this like it's real flying? And it really just made me go, man, I built this sim. I really think I could actually fly a plane. Why don't we, you know, think about doing it? And I expressed interest to my family and some of my friends. Well, for Christmas one year, I got a gift certificate that was for a Discovery flight, and I didn't have cameras at the time. I wish I would have videoed it, because it was supposed to be an hour, and my buddy that gave it to me, he went with me on this flight, and he's like, you know what, let's just double it. Let's go up for a couple hours. So I logged 2.4 hours that day. And at that moment, when we were done, I was like, there's no reason why I can't fly. It might take me a really long time to get my license. I've been a student pilot for 4 years now, and I, you know, tried to get all of the scholarships I could, but I started late. I started in my 40s, and when you start in your 40s, there's not scholarships for 40-year-olds that I have found. If you know of one, it'd be fantastic. It would make it a lot easier, but we're slowly getting there. I've accrued, as of yesterday, 35.4 hours flight time, and now a lot of that's been over the last 4 years, so it's not like I'm really close. I haven't soloed yet. I'm not really close to that, because essentially I just started again this year, and I've put in about 12 hours this year. So, well, between last year and this year. So once I started flying, I was like, as much fun it is to do barrel rolls and fly under bridges and, you know, just go willy-nilly landing wherever, that would set me up for building bad habits flying in real life. So I changed my mentality to where if I fire up my sim, it is going to be done as I'm flight training. Sometimes I skip the flight briefing and things like that out loud. I do go through them in my head, but I do my best to do the calls as I'm getting to the runways. Now, I only fly in uncontrolled areas or uncontrolled airports. Every once in a while, I'll go into PDX or something like that, and the ATCs in the sims are okay, but I haven't done it in real life, so I don't want to do it so much that I build bad habits. And so, yeah, if I'm firing up the sim, I'm doing it just like I'm going out to the airport to do a real flight. And so I think that is the biggest mentality shift that you can have is to treat your flight sim like you're truly learning to fly, if that's what you're gonna do. If you're never gonna go out and get a license, I still suggest that you try to treat it like real life. However, something I need to work into it more is to actually just go have fun and fly once in a while and do those barrel rolls and stuff, because there was a point where if I was doing that stuff, then I would shut the sim down and not fly anymore, because it means I wasn't paying attention and I was just going all crazy with it. So anyway, that seems like a good topic. Let me know what you guys think, or how you guys view flying your sim. And if you're a real life pilot, when you are flying in your sim, do you treat it like you're truly flying in real life? I'm not talking like if you're gonna end up going to, let's say you decide that you want to go on a flight that you've never been to, and this is what a sim is absolutely golden for. You load up the flight, your flight plan, and you fly it in real life. Sorry, you fly it in your sim just like you're going to fly it in real life, and that builds muscle memory of where you're going, what to look for, because both sims you can have your ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot app going, or even just the map up, and look for the VFR waypoints or just something that stands out, lakes, rivers, airports, whatever, and do that flight in the sim. And then when you go to do it in real life, your mind's like, oh, I've already done this, and it doesn't take all the stress away, but it helps a lot. They actually, every year when they do AirVenture, I don't remember who does it, one of the ATC programs actually puts out, you got to pay for it because I think it's like $40 or something, $50, but and it could be free, I could be wrong because I've never done it. The actual ATC that is going to do the event at AirVenture does it in the sim, and I think it's highly regulated where if you goof off, they kick you out, because it is practice for them, and they invite any pilot that is going to fly to AirVenture to do it in the sim. They give you all the NOTAMs that you need to read, and they build, it's a scenery package that you put in. It has the colored dots on the runway, and it draws the area around it how it is, or close to how it is in real life. That way you can follow the railroad tracks or your Fond du Lac Lake or airport, you know, all of that stuff. I'm hopeful. One of my buddies just bought an airplane. He's doing transition training in it. Not in 2026, but we're possibly in 2027 gonna fly to Oshkosh in his Mooney. And I'm talking to him about doing it as a preliminary this year, doing it in the sim, even if he's got to come to my house and use my sim. And I would set it up where we're both sitting next to each other and we have the NOTAMs with us and fly it out. And then also in 2027 do the same thing. That way when we actually get there, we're not all like, oh my gosh, and be like the guy that didn't follow directions and ended up taking off from a taxiway and causing big disruptions. You don't want to be that pilot. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I know I said this a second ago, but let me know in the comments how you treat your sim flying. Do you treat it as real life practice, or because you fly so much in real life, you're like, this is just a time to do the things that I wouldn't do in my airplane? And yeah, let me know if there is any videos or topics that you want me to talk about and try to figure out. Maybe there's a project that you are trying to do, but you're a little scared to, you know, pull the trigger on it and make it happen. Maybe it's something I've done and haven't made a video of, because there's hours and hours of projects that have almost been videoed and then they, you know, just lose their steam. And maybe I'll make a video about that. I have a couple projects that are ready. Some of them are 3D printed projects that are printed. All the components are there, they just need done. And why I haven't done them yet, or why they run out of steam and you go a different direction. So yeah, well, hey, you guys have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. If you're watching this on one of the shorts platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels, please jump over to YouTube. We're at 432 as of recording this video subscribers on there. I really want to hit 1,000 by the end of 2026. I don't think that's a hard push to hit. I also need more video hours. I don't know how they calculate them. I have only 526 video hours that they use, and I need 3,000 within a year. So please make sure that you're watching the videos and share it with all your friends. All your support that you have done up to this point is amazing. I love it. Thank you so much. It's super helpful. There's been a few times where I'm like, I just need to throw in the towel. It's a lot of work. It takes, you know, 4 or 5 days a week doing videos and editing, because I do it all, and it's very draining on the family and on resources, and you know, so to get monetized would be huge. Yeah, anyway, thank you. You guys have a great day, and remember, land safely.